Well, we just got word of what a lot of Bears fans were hoping to hear, that Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears starters will be playing in the Bears' next preseason game. We're going to talk about all and more right after this.
Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it for today. So it's official. Caleb Williams will be playing in the Chicago Bears' next preseason game. This is news that a lot of Bears fans were hoping for. I actually talked about it in today's daily episode, even though that's not released yet, which I said that we weren't sure if Caleb Williams is going to be playing or not. Well, we now know. There's no more question left about it. Caleb Williams will be playing in the Chicago Bears' next preseason game. So that's going to give a lot of look at how he kind of handles and manages that offense. I've talked a lot before of Brett Rippon and the way that he manages it against that team. Hopefully Caleb Williams comes in and is able to do something very similar. So we now know via Matt Eberflus that Caleb Williams will be making his preseason debut this Saturday for the Chicago Bears. And so, listen, Matt Eberflus has already said that the goal for Caleb Williams is to play between 45 and 55 snaps. So that's what the Bears are looking for to get from him. Shout out to Stevo in the building. That's a nice hat, Stevo. Shout out to Stevo. How you feeling about Caleb Williams playing in the next preseason game?
I'm hawking your ass down. Just know, I'm
silence, but you ain't going.
Hey, I'm quiet. You don't know what I got in store.
Oh, but you ain't got to. I can find everything you got.
Me too. Shit, Chicago. we find shit. Yeah. But I like it, and it's not necessarily just because of Caleb. It's definitely more. I don't know. I've been people in which I've been talking on after the camp videos and everything. Mm-hmm. But my main thing is, especially after yesterday hearing that Dominique Robinson was in the backfield like 80% of the time yesterday. Dexter doing his thing, Montez doing his thing, the defense of a whole doing his thing. I want to know, is our defense really like that, or is this line just that bad? And going against this Bills defense, who not necessarily the starters are playing on the Bills, they did announce on there as well as Josh Allen, but they're not as great, but they still, the way they play, they blitz heavy team. It will be a threat for this line. So I really want to see how this line holds up. I want to see the communication between the line, the sideline, and Caleb as a whole, because that's the main communication center right there. But I want to see what they do. I know, they're not gonna get that many plays, probably a drive or two. But we'll be lucky if we see two drives. But I'm excited to see they definitely need to play, especially with everything we hearing at camp. So I'm glad they announced it to get out the way.
Yeah, I mean, let's eliminate all the questions so that we can prepare. Like you said, we're not going to see him for a whole 45 and 55 snaps for Caleb Williams over 3 more preseason games isn't really that amount when that much when you think about it. So don't expect to see him a whole lot. You're probably not even going to see him for a full quarter. It won't be until probably the last preseason game to where you see him for maybe a half at that point. But even then, that may be a little slim. So we'll see, what comes down with that. But and we now know there's no more questions. We get to see our full starting lineup on both sides of the football. And I'm excited because just a little glimpse we got of that offense in that Hall of Fame game looked like so much more of a dynamic offense than what we've had the last few years. Now to get your starters in there to see if they have that same chemistry. The Rome Odunze, Rome DJ Moore, all that. Hey, man, I'm excited, bro. You know who else I really think is going to have a big season? And I know this is kind of outside the topic of the video, but he had a career year last year, but expect Cole Kmet to have a big year as well this year. It may not be the same amount of yards just because of how many players we're going to have in that receiving game, but I think it's going to be a big red zone year for Cole Kmet, in my opinion. What do you think?
I'm glad. I was just about to say, I'm glad you keyed in on the red zone part, which probably going to mean his touchdowns and was more going to be more potent than his yards per se, because on the yards part, I don't think we're going to see the full potential of Cole Kmet as a route runner or as a catcher of the ball until our O-line is not a problem no more. Because as long as the O-line is going to problem, we're going to use his strength and his knowledge when it comes to blocking. But I think each year he's shown more and more. Last year kind of confirmed that he's definitely a top 10 tight end in this league for sure. And with this being said, alongside with Jarrett as a backup who's been in the league, who's also been high in the red zone and touchdowns within himself. He could teach him some things as well. I'm expecting to see a lot of key touchdowns, especially with him, because the dude, he big as hell. Like every
Yeah.
time people say him, it kind of catch them off guard that he's 6'6", 250, and he runs like he's 6'2", 190. So he's definitely gonna have a good game. I'm also like I also feel like DeAndre Sweat. A lot of people are not talking about DeAndre Sweat, but I also want to say this: our offensive coordinator like big running backs. If you look at all his pedigree, he loved big running backs. So don't be surprised if Rojo's probably gonna be that second string. And even if he's not, I still see him getting a lot of playing time and a lot of pivotal minutes.
And that's a great point and call out, because even though Roshan was listed as the running back 3 last year, the last 4 games of the season, if I'm not mistaken, he played the most snaps of any running back.
Yep.
So, it really and that was under Luke Getsy, like you said. Shane Waldron does like big running backs, and so he also likes in that passing game the versatility to be used in the pass blocking as well. Rojo's going to get a lot of snaps here, and I think it is going to come down to, while Khalil Herbert has not had a bad training camp from what we've heard. I want to be clear. They're like, the Bears moving on from Khalil Herbert is not because Khalil Herbert's bad. It's just the combination of the contract, him coming off the rookie deal, them getting Swift, and just how Roshan brings something that both DeAndre Swift and Khalil Herbert don't bring consistently.
And injuries.
Yeah, that's a part too as well. Even
and
though Roshan got to stop getting concussions, my boy. He got to stop getting
and that's my main thing with him. He just evident to show, and that was some of his critique in college, that he just need to work on his vision. And that's the main thing with him. Avoid some contact that don't need. Stop seeking out contact, especially when you're going inside of the A gap or the B gap. When you going outside, then I'm allow you to get your yardage how you want. But when you going downhill or somebody going downhill with you, you gotta learn how to read these gaps so you won't have these head-on collisions, because we're gonna need you. Out of everybody next to Swift, you the best blocking run back that we got, and we're gonna need you at those times. So somebody said Velus Jones and halfback might be like,
and make no mistake about
this.
Like if they are already kind of like looking at Khalil Herbert and saying you're not long for this team, make no mistake. Like I don't think anybody's saying that Velus is ever going to turn into a every down running back, but as far as being a third running back that brings some speed, especially the ability to go out there around those corners and be used in gadget plays, there's definitely a possibility for that.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like everybody knows our thoughts on Velus Jones. Like we all know that he's not what we expect him to do. We all know that he's probably a reach at the third round when we got him. But still, with the intangibles and just the raw talent that he has, there's no reason why we can't use him like a Tyreek. Maybe not in the return sets, because Tyreek was like that in the return. But as a Swiss Army knife, jet screens, running back like Cordell Patterson, he's a big guy that can run fast. Give him the ball. Even in short, medium routes, I like him more because, like I said, I bring it up all the time. There was a time where everybody didn't pick up the blitz but him, and he sat in the middle and got that first down for Justin. So, like he ain't an idiot, but he ain't the best either. So it's like we seeing Shane being willing to put him in different situations, which is what a head offensive coordinator is supposed to do. So hopefully we see more of him of a Swift Army Knights, because we can use him in some form of fashion. He's not going to be a big presence, but he could be a sneaky one for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure as well. Now, let me ask you this. With Caleb Williams out there and the fact that he's not going to be playing that many snaps in this preseason game expectedly, do you script your plays, or do you think they maybe come in and basically say, Caleb, hey, make your decisions. You can audible, you can do this. Like, combination of the two, what do you think they're going to come into? Because he's not going to be out there very long.
If he was coming out of a pro style offense, go ahead. But because he hasn't, I need to see him be able to run a script of a. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, because a script you got time to prepare for, you know all the terminology, all the language, it might be easy for you. I don't know. It depends on how the coach feel. Like Bills defense is not a team that I'm significantly worried about. So I wouldn't be opposed of him trying to see what he got. Go see if you starting to learn what this new professional game has to call for you. Go run some plays, see if you can actually call out plays and go through the progressions of it and everything, versus a script is routine. So it depends on how he feels. But if I'm them versus the Bills, I script like 5 and I give him 5 to do on his own. Okay. That's what I say.
All right. By the way, y'all, we are 8 subscribers away from 16K. I know 80 y'all out of the over 100 y'all in here have not subscribed to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 16K before the start of the season. It should be academic at this point. Y'all go ahead and hit that damn subscribe button, man. But with that said, we already know what it is now. Caleb Williams and the starters will be playing in the Bears' second preseason game. This is going to be an exciting time to really kind of see how the grasp of that offense and just how well they move the ball up and down the field. And so this is a Bills defense that is going to come after it. Like you said, not too worried about it overall, but if they're playing their starters as well, we know what kind of their methodology is on that defensive side of the ball. So this is a nice big test for the Chicago Bears. And listen, I'm glad that the starters are out there, and it should be a fun one to call, man. That's all I can say on that.
It's definitely gonna be a fun one to call. I think we already juiced up from the Hard Knocks episode. This just gave us some more added things. So now it feels like it's football season. I know like everybody like it's football. Now it feels like football season. When you start seeing the starters and everybody around the league starting to play, hey, now it's football season. Now I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for Saturday. Let's go.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's a fact. Well, y'all make sure y'all follow us, man. Y'all can lock in with us at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. 7 of y'all hit that subscribe button on y'all way out, man. Love you guys. Go Bears,
and Nate Davis, get off that damn bike.
Yeah, get off the bike on the field, man. Peace, y'all.